What I'm about to share with you right now, in this very video, on this very webpage, could potentially have a bigger impact on your life than what you would ever believe possible. Now, I know with me starting a video like this, it's probably going to leave you feeling quite skeptical. But do you know what? I think by the time you hear me out in this completely unscripted and raw video, you will sense that this is something different. And I don't need to read some script or sales letter because, first of all, I'm not trying to pitch you on something. What I'm about to share with you, it's real, it's the truth, and it absolutely has not only impacted my life, the stuff that I'm going to share with you, it's impacted thousands of others that I've been able to help over the years. You know, the reality is back in 2007, I was a guy who was going to bed at night having so much anxiety. The only thing that I was thinking about when I was putting my head down on the pillow is please don't have a panic attack. And the reason being is because for 6 months in 2007, I was working so hard on trying to achieve more. Now, I was a real estate agent back then and I was working 70 hours a week in a job. And the truth is that for about 3 years, the last 3 years in that career, I was waking up every single day unfulfilled, not passionate, and not feeling like I had any real purpose. You know, I was earning good money as a real estate agent, had a nice car, I had a nice apartment, a 6-figure income. But when you're working that kind of hours, 70 hours a week, 6 days a week, and you wake up every day not feeling fulfilled, it takes its toll. And you may have been there, I don't know. But here's what happened next. I made a decision that I wanted to make some change, and I ended up rushing into a decision. And that decision was to start my very first business. Now, because it was a bit of a knee-jerk reaction, long story short, I'd had a bad week, I decided that I needed to do something different. I ended up 2 weeks after making that decision, borrowing $20,000 to start my very first real-world franchise business. And it was a local advertising business. Now, what that business involved was me doing cold calling, door-to-door selling, trying to convince small businesses to advertise on my website, this franchise website. Now, what I realized very, very quickly is that that way of doing business just wasn't for me. Cold calling, picking up the phone, door-to-door sales. And I'd rushed into that decision, not only because I was looking for a way out of my job, but I was really, quite honestly, looking for a way to make some more money. And because I thought this franchise would answer that, it would give me the chance to work for myself and earn more money, I kind of rushed into it. Do you know what? It was probably one of the best things that could have ever happened to me. And here's the reason why. See, what happened is I realized very, very quickly what I didn't want. First of all, I realized that rushing into decisions trying to chase money was a bad idea. Secondly, I realized that if I was going to go into business, I definitely didn't want to go into something that involved old school, hard selling. I was rubbish at it. The biggest reason why I ended up getting myself into a big state of anxiety and panic attacks is because I was dreading so much waking up the next day knowing that I was another step closer to failing with that venture. The very same venture that most of my friends and family had told me not to bother doing because I was doing so well in my career and I should stick to my safe, secure job. So when I ended up giving up on that franchise 6 months later, going back to my job with my tail between my legs, I was pretty ashamed. But here was the thing, I just felt peace that no longer did I have to do these mundane tasks trying to impress other people around me that I was going to succeed in this very business that I'd started. And it was just a relief to go back to what I know, go back to this safe, secure job. But here's what happened next, and you may be able to relate to this. When you're the type of person who is convinced that there's something better out there, when you're the type of person who isn't prepared to wake up and work in a mundane job every single day, you continue to have that burning desire to find something else. And I'm so glad, not only did I learn the lessons of what I didn't want through that franchise experience, but that that burning desire came back with a vengeance. Because at the end of 2007, here's what happened. I went online and I did a ton of research, maybe like you're doing now, maybe like you've done in the past. And I came across a mentor. I came across a guy online who was based out in Atlanta who told me about a business model that I could start around my job. Didn't involve cold calling, chasing, pitching, recruiting, anything like that. And it involved selling products on the internet as an affiliate, in other words, selling other people's products and getting a commission for it. Now, for me, the thing that really appealed is it was something I could do from home. It's something that I could do around my job. And if it was something that worked out for me, I'd be able to do it from my laptop anywhere in the world. And that really appealed to me. So in the January of 2008, I invested in his curriculum, and within a few weeks of getting started, I'd made my very first sale online. It was about 12 bucks off memory and commission, and I made it when I was asleep. Now, obviously, that wasn't going to change my life, but just knowing that I'd made a sale on the internet and got a commission for selling somebody else's product that I no longer had to worry about really opened up my eyes to what was possible. 3 months after getting started with that business venture, I was consistently making sales and income. Within 6 months, I'd replaced my job income working part-time online. And for me, it changed everything. Now, of course, the first thing I did was quit my job. Who wouldn't? And, it was a great thing to be able to do. I think a lot of my friends and family thought I'd got lucky. They didn't think it was going to be sustainable. They didn't really understand what I was doing, how it could last. It was going to be a short-fall thing, a short win. But it wasn't. And the reason being is because what I'd invested in was myself and my ability to market on the internet. And this is the reality. When you know how to market products and services on the internet, you have so many different business models and ventures that you can go into. I couldn't even begin to get started. Now, by my 11th month working on the business, I bought myself a dream car. It was November of 2008. I got myself an Aston Martin DB9. And honestly, I'm going to be honest, I was proud of myself. I was really proud of myself. I'd completely changed my life in that year. Walked away from a job I was no longer passionate about and was self-sufficient, self-reliant, working online. In 2009, I made some business adjustments, some adjustments where I focused on selling different types of products, what we call high-ticket products. And what that enabled me to do is work a lot less hours. I was working 2-3 hours a day. I was actually traveling around the world. I spent several weeks in Thailand, and I was literally hopping on plane to plane, lying on some of the most fantastic beaches in the world. And I was living what I like to call the internet lifestyle, the digital lifestyle. Now, by the end of 2009, things took a bit of a turn. And this is what happened. I started to realize that feeling of not being fulfilled, regardless of my self-sufficient, self-reliant business, regardless of the fact I didn't have a boss and I was living this internet lifestyle, something was missing again. And it was that same feeling in my stomach that I needed to do something else. I needed change. I remember this one particular day, and I'm embarrassed to tell you this, but I woke up, it was like 11 o'clock in the morning, which was normal for me, got myself out of bed, put my dressing gown on, got myself my cereal for breakfast, and I was sat there on the sofa watching daytime TV, and this was pretty typical for me. And I remember thinking this, I remember everyone from the outside had seen me change my life driving these flash cars. At this time I had 2 Porsche 911s on the drive. I mean, every guy's dream when you're in your 20s. And I remember just this feeling that everyone from the outside saw this guy who had really kind of like changed his life, was doing really well. In fact, everyone was telling me how well I was doing. But I also remember not feeling very fulfilled again. Now, probably not so much that I compared it to how I felt in my job, working 70 hours a week for someone else, but I wasn't feeling very fulfilled. And that progressively got worse. Going into the beginning of 2010, I started thinking about it a lot more, and I made a decision. And in 2010, what I did is I helped 2 of my friends. In fact, one was a cousin and one was a friend. And I helped them start their very first internet business. Within 3 months, one of those guys, his name was Richard, had walked away from his recruitment job, and my cousin Alex, he was able to walk away from his lettings career several months later as well. And to this day, I believe they're extremely grateful for what I was able to share with them and how I was able to help them become self-sufficient and self-reliant in this digital economy. So that set me off on this mission. And in 2010, I pulled a team together and decided that I wanted to create a community, a private community of people who were wanting to change their life through leveraging the internet. And I'm going to tell you something. I came out with this idea and I did a webinar, and I had about 1,000 people join me on this live webinar. And I was absolutely blown away, because at the end of that webinar, I had over 500 people get their credit card out and give me money, my new company money, to become a member of this private community. And effectively what they were paying for was access to an exclusive private community, some education products, and the security of knowing that they're surrounded by like-minded people, people with a mission and a purpose. Now that ended up going on to evolve quite significantly. In 2011, we invested over $1 million into the community and the business and growing the team. And in 2012, we invested several more million, really expanded out. And then towards the end of 2012, things really changed. And what actually happened is I ended up going into partnership with one of the most successful online trainers on the planet. His name is Jay Kubizak, and he had created more online millionaires than certainly anyone I had known of. And he had really come to understand what it takes, particularly from a mindset perspective, to take somebody from relatively no experience with business and success to being in a situation where they can think clearly, get very focused, and start to create and cultivate a life that they feel completely joy and passion to work around. See, what I felt that was missing at this point in my business anyway, and a lot of my training courses, is although we were good at teaching people how to do sales online and make money, what was missing was this idea of how to help people really cultivate something that they're extremely passionate about. So I was so passionate about jumping up and building this community and growing this community, but a lot of our students, I felt, were in a similar situation to me. You know, they were selling stuff online, they were learning how to do marketing on the internet, earn commissions, but I knew that there was something missing. And what I thought was missing was a way of helping people really understand what it takes to build this business of purpose and passion. And that's when things changed again, when I partnered with Jay Kubizak back in the end of 2012, and we launched our main company, Digital Experts Academy. Now, since then, we have helped so many people create a business that's enabled them to really live a life and create a business that they love. And that is my passion. Why do I not need a letter to read? Why do I not need to script anything that I'm sharing with you? Because this is real, this is raw. It's like what I'm saying to you. What I'm sharing with you right now is something I'm surrounded by every single day. And what I want to talk to you about right now is giving you the opportunity to learn some simple skills that will first enable you to understand what's the basic way of making money on the internet. What's the most straightforward way to make money on the internet, giving you the confidence that first you can do it, but secondly, we want to give you the skills that are going to enable you to create a business that you're passionate about. Whether you choose to build a business around your passions that you have right now, or maybe it's going to be a journey of discovery. Maybe you're actually going to learn more about what we do, how we might be able to assist you, and then eventually come up with a game plan on how you're going to really create a life that you love. The kind of lifestyle, I should probably say, that you love. A life of freedom and flexibility to do and work on things that you wake up to every single day and you can't wait to get your head down and make stuff happen. In other words, create something that's going to have impact for you, your family, and potentially further afield as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you the opportunity to submit an application to us, to tell us more about who you are, basically introduce you to us, should you wish. And as a result of that, I'm going to give you about $1,000 worth of free training, okay, free information. First of all, you're going to go through a series of modules that's actually going to teach you this concept of making money on the internet through business models that you've probably never really heard of. Then what we're going to do is we're actually going to follow up with you through a series of emails and videos to really help you understand the big picture, to really understand more about what we do, introduce you to some of our community members, introduce you to some of our case studies, and really encourage you to take a serious look at what we may be able to do for you. Now, what we're going to ask you to do, like I said, is introduce yourself through our application process, go through this training material, then we're going to ask you to get on the phone with us. Okay, I have a series of leaders who are within our community and organisation who are here to serve you. They're here to help answer any questions or concerns you might have once you've actually gone through the material that we're going to provide for you. The idea is we don't want to do some sort of sales pitch or push you into something whatsoever. We want to give you so much information that you're not only blown away by what we're teaching you, but you're able to make a fully informed decision on whether you think our community and what we're about is something that might be able to assist you in taking the next steps with creating a business and a career around something that not only you're passionate about, that, like I've said before, is going to give you the freedom and flexibility that comes with an internet business. You know, one of the downsides when it comes to looking at the online world is there's so much hype, there's so much exaggerations, there's so many false promises. You're not going to get that with us. What we're going to do is blow you away by teaching you what you need to know. We're going to blow you away by sharing with you in a no fluff, no hype manner that's going to enable you to really understand, like I said before, the big picture. And thereafter, you'll be able to make a pretty informed decision to whether this whole internet world is something that you want to explore further. You know, I've been able to help thousands of people not only make their first sale on the internet, walk away from their jobs and be full-time internet online business owners. I've also been able to help people truly turn their lives around. Myself, my business partner Jay, and our community is something that we're extremely proud of. Most of us, every single day, and that's into the thousands now, connect with each other through the internet, many of us never having even met in person, just knowing that what we're doing, the mission that we're on, is so much greater than ourselves. And you're going to sense that the moment you become a part of this community. In fact, the moment you submit your application and start going through the training and explore some of the case studies, you're going to realize this is very different to anything else. So what am I going to ask you to do? What's the catch? Well, what we're going to ask you to do is show that you're serious about this. And I'm going to ask you to submit a paid application. Now, that application is just $29.95. And the result of that is that you're going to get full access to the material that I just shared with you. A series of videos, some private seminar footage. Even better than that, it's completely risk-free, because for 30 days, not only can you have full access to all of this information, you can say that it's not for you, you can make a decision to cancel at any time, and we will refund you every single cent, every single penny of that $29.95 without any questions asked. It's completely risk-free. The reason we ask for an application is, one, for you to show you're serious, and two, not to flood our resources with tons of time wasters and applications coming in that we can't serve. Like I said, we want to provide you with a real service where you can actually speak to real people, get on the phone with us, and we can't possibly do that by offering every single individual out there on the internet to go through our application process without any risk whatsoever to them. So although we're clearing the risk by saying it's 100% money back guarantee, what we are asking is for you to actually, make that purchase, show that you're serious, introduce yourselves, go through the material. And I think you'll be blown away, like I've said several times before, with what we're going to wake you up to, how we're going to open your eyes to what's possible. We have an extremely unique way of teaching and training. We've invested millions of dollars into our systems, our business systems, and our business models and our product lines. And as a result of that, you're going to experience nothing other than a first-class service. And I'm extremely confident of that. So that all being said, this is what it's going to do for you. It's going to give you the opportunity to go through $1,000 plus worth of value without any risk other than the initial $29.95, which is refundable if you decide it's not for you. And it's going to enable you to make an informed decision to whether this whole world of internet business and online marketing is for you or not, whether our community is for you or not. So all I ask is keep an open mind. Come in with a great work ethic, a good attitude, go through the material. Don't just let it sit there and gain digital dust. Truly go through the material. Be prepared to maybe not sleep a few nights with excitement, because, like I said, we're not going to blow you away with hype and fluff and exaggerations. We're going to blow you away with real solid training that's going to show you exactly what you need to do to get the best possible start online, both with the education, but also the tools and technology that we've developed to help you really speed up that process. This is Stuart Ross, co-founder of the Six Figure Mentors and Digital Experts Academy. Thank you so much for hearing me out, and I hope to see you on the other side very, very soon. You will not be disappointed. I'm extremely confident of that. Thanks very much, and I'll see you very, very soon. Take care.